Well, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic here on Mike Avery Outdoors on many of my social media outlets. Not all of them, but many of them. Glad to have you along with us as I'm here from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio, getting ready to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. Cliff, good morning. How are you? Nice to have you along with us, a regular viewer, and I do appreciate that. Hey, Craig, how are you, man? Craig, we really got into the fish yesterday. Really got into the fish. Um, Best day in a long time, in fact. 4-man limit. I had a charter yesterday, a charity charter, 4-man limit of 32 fish. And then my son James was my first mate, and we took two more as we were clearing lines. So 34 fish. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Bruce. My name is Mike Avery. This is another edition of Wednesday. I almost said Wednesday Night Live. There is no Wednesday Night Live tonight. Good morning, Martin. Nice to have you along with us. Oh, I need to change my banner because this is not Wednesday Night Live. This is, boom, Behind the Mic. Mayflies are out, eh? I was thinking about those the other day, wondering if there's a mayfly hatch yet. I haven't seen any around this part of the woods, this neck of the woods. If they come out today, they're going to be warm, that's for sure. Upper 90s today. Muggy. Already, as I was coming into the studio, it felt pretty oppressive out there. And Craig, that day I saw you, I think we got 14 that day I saw you. I think it was last Friday. And I will probably not, good morning, Stephen. I will probably not be fishing now until Monday. I've got another trip on Monday. Yeah, I will certainly try to stay cool today. Theo, good morning. How are you? I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. Craig says his brother and I got a 2-man limit on Erie by 9:30. Nice. It's been a long time since I fished Lake Erie. Mad Jack, it was very nice to meet you in person. Oh, no doubt about it, Scott. No doubt about it. Jack checking in from Port Huron. Good morning, Jack. How are you? Hey, Scott, nice job on the Walleye for Warriors event. You and everybody else involved, you did a great job. Ed, it was nice seeing you Sunday as well. Ed drove down from Alpena for the Walleye for Warriors event. Jason Karstens drove down from the Sioux, and he trailered his Angler Quest down to be part of the Walleye for Warriors event. It was another great event. I always feel so blessed and honored to be a part of that. Ended up not fishing in it this year, but I did get to welcome the boats back into the channel at Linwood Beach Marina, and I did get to help MC the event. So I did feel like I was a part of it, and it's a very, very special event. One of the guys on my charter yesterday, charity charter, is actually involved in the Tight Lines for Troops veterans fishing event over in Manistee. Mad Jack says, yes, they did an outstanding job, Scott and crew. Brent, good morning. How are you? I want to see what got my medical certificate for my license, wondering how much longer. Oh, it's going to be a long time, Jim. It's going to be a long time before you get your captain's license. I also said we had our 24 fish limit at Walleye for Warriors by 9:30. So you were one of those two boats that came in real early with a limit of fish. Good for you. Theo says, hey, Johnny, good morning, buddy. How are you? Sold out of night crawlers. We're not even going to talk about night crawlers. 1,500 fish. I think we caught 1,300 fish. Alpena Deer Camp. I want to go back to Theo's comment. Thinking about a June bear hunt in Ontario. Any recommendations for outfitters' lodges? Yeah. Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters in White River. northernwildernessbearoutfitters.com. His hunters come in over Memorial Weekend. He's who I would recommend. Ron St. Louis, Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. I'm surprised, Johnny. I'm surprised it took this long. Johnny says, Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. There, we got that up. They weren't. I was on the east side of the bay yesterday, Kevin. But I was out there long enough that the wind picked up and blew him away too. James says he was at Walleye for Warriors, had a great time. Going back to this Ontario bear hunt, our friend Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats just posted. Yeah, we had a real good day yesterday, Jerry. Appreciate it. Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand just posted a wonderful video he did from his bear hunt, and I'll put that up here online. Robert said he would second that on the Ron St. Louis. Did I get a chance to try out my new gun? No. In fact, I won't. Any spare time I have right now is going to be spent working around the house or fishing. But and I will sight that gun in, but it's not going to happen until I'm done fishing. I want to go back to that gun here for a second. I don't know if you saw it, but last Wednesday night I did a Wednesday night live from the Brenton USA hunting rifle plant in Lansing. And I took delivery of a new Brenton 350 Legend. And I posted a picture of me holding that gun. Oh my gosh, you would have thought I was the Antichrist. People don't get it. They just don't get it. I was holding a hunting rifle in my hand safely, and people came unglued. How could you do that? How could you pose smiling with an assault weapon? Think about those poor kids killed at that school in Texas. Let me just make a little observation here. My hunting rifle has nothing to do with any violence conducted against kids in Texas or anywhere else. So when I saw comments like that, I've learned over the years, there's no sense trying to reason with them. I hit two buttons: delete, ban, delete, ban, delete, ban. Good morning, Randy. How are you? It was good to see you at the Walleye for Warriors event. Finally, after talking so many times. And the other comment I got was from people, the so-called, I love the internet. Actually, I hate the internet. Jim's going up to Rapid River. Nice. No, Davina, you can't fix stupid. And along that line, I got grief from the anti-gun people who thought for some reason I was going to go out and take this AR style hunting rifle and go shoot up a school, which of course I'm not. Tonight I'll be at tonight. In fact, there won't even be a Wednesday night live tonight. I'll be at the Pine Knob for a Tears for Fears concert. Nice. So shout. Everybody wants to rule. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's gonna be hot down there, Pat. I know. It's one of my wife Denise's favorite all-time bands, and when she got together, I surprised her for our anniversary and bought us 2 tickets to the show tonight at Pine Knob. Yeah. So the other thing with this, my gun post is all these so-called gun experts, right? Oh, 350 is not a good gun for bear, because in my post I said I hope to take a Michigan bear with my Michigan-made Brenton 350 Legend. I didn't buy that gun for bear hunting. If I was going to buy a gun for bear hunting, I'd buy a 12-gauge slug. But I've killed probably 12 to 15 bears now, and all of them have been with a bow, and I want to see what happens when you shoot a bear with a gun. So I posted that I hope to take a bear with that. Now, the reason I got a 350 was because I thought it was a very versatile gun. I could use it for bear. I could use it for deer. I could use it for some predators if I wanted to, whatever. I just thought it was a good, mild recoil, fairly efficient caliber. And so I not only heard from the anti-gunners, I heard from the firearm experts that says, Avery, you're undergunned for bear. People are stupid. Honestly, people are stupid. Not you folks with me here this morning, but the rest of the world is stupid. Josh says a 350 drops coyotes and deer, no problem. And it'll drop a bear too. Lori, I was telling Scott Hand is on here. You guys all did a wonderful job at the Walleye for Warriors event. Everybody at Linwood Beach Marina, everybody on the committee, all the volunteers. God bless you. That was great. They want no one to have guns anymore. Yeah, I know it. I know it. What did I say? Guns like a hammer. You can do violence and evil and damage with a hammer. And you can with a gun, or you can choose not to in both cases. That's all it is. Johnny says there'd been plenty of bear shot with a 22 back in the day. Just saying. Johnny, I don't think we want to say anything more about details. That's funny. Golf clubs, yeah, exactly. Well, so what else is on my list here? Yeah, I want to mention the Walleye for Warriors. It was a great event. Again, thank you to everybody involved. You guys did a wonderful job. It was great to be a part of it. The weather cooperated, the fish cooperated. Yeah, Lori was up there. Hey, Paul, how are you? Hey, Paul, did you get a kick out of some of the comments on the post when I was holding my new Brenton 350? I know it. Fishing yesterday. I started out in Skinny Water. I had it was a charity charter. I gave a charter to my granddaughter's softball team. Already locked in, Lori. I will be the MC next year. Already locked in. Paul says, sigh. Yes. Ed, you're a step ahead of me. I'll get to that. Hey, Daryl, how are you? How are things up in White River? Actually, John says, you're looking nice and comfortable. I am, but it's starting to get a little stuffy in here already. Pat says, yes. Theo, I don't think it's silly at all. I think it's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, Daryl, I'm glad things are going well up there. Started out in Skinny Water yesterday, 11 feet of water, took 10 fish on flicker shads and flicker minnows. Let's hear it. You said it. That's where I will be tonight. Instead of doing a Wednesday night live with you, I will be at Pine Knob with my wife Denise for Tears for Fears concert. It is Pine Knob now. It's back to Pine Knob again. Yeah. Thank you, Nate. That's nice of you to say. Hunter Joe says only 99% humidity this morning. I know you can just about swim in the air out there. Anyway, then we went deep and ran. Boy, we ran a variety of things. 3-color lead, 2-color lead with a crank. I was bouncing Magnum offshore tadpoles off the bottom with spoons and everything in between. Paul, I don't think the fish care. It wasn't crawlers. Paul, I need to get you out there in the boat. I think you'd like it. Happy hump day, Dan says. Indeed it is. I want to go back to a comment here somebody else made. There, Ed Bolanowski says, Mike. He says, Mike, who's on the show this week? Chris Kreiner. Talking about coyote hunting, predator hunting in the middle of the summer like this. They've taken 15 dogs in the last week. And I think my tie into that is going to be I didn't see any birds this turkey season. And some people said it's because you got too many predators in the area. So Chris is out there knocking down predators midsummer, which I think is interesting. Jason Garvin from the Michigan Wildlife Council will join me. He is a doctor. He's a professor at Lake Superior State. In hour number 2, Captain Bobby Sullivan. He is the guy who his client took a new state record. How about a 5? You know what, Scott? I could do that. That's a great idea, Scott. I will do that. Yes, I will do a Wednesday night live, a shortened version, 3-5 minutes from Pine Knob tonight. That's a great idea, Scott. All right. Yes, I will do that. Excellent idea. Hadn't thought of that. And I sprung for the nice seats too. not the cheap lawn stuff. So we're going to be in the shade. Not that it's going to matter. But yes, I will do that from Pine Knot. That's a great idea, guys and gals. Yeah, okay. your stupid clock again, Pat.
Yeah, so we're about a minute 20 behind the real time.
Bobby Sullivan will be on the radio show this week. He is the guy. Craig says, maybe we can all shout out to you. Oh, she won't mind. She'll think it's fun. 5 minutes of the whole evening isn't going to hurt anything. What are we seeing tonight? Tears for Fears. It has been my wife's favorite band. I don't know about any drinks tonight, Cliff. I'll probably have one, but I'll tell you this. I cut loose and let your hair down. Oops, disregard. Thank you, John. I will probably have one drink there tonight, but I will tell you this. I am not comfortable these days in a venue like that with so many people. It's so crowded, lack of egress. All it's going to take is one idiot to start getting stupid and everything can go south in a hurry. And I'll be completely honest with you. Of course, in that venue, you're not allowed to protect yourself. You're not allowed to carry a gun. And it makes me extraordinarily nervous to be in a venue like that unprotected. So you will not see me in a state of mind that is not aware of what's going on around me. Right? Bobby Sullivan. You thought I forgot, didn't I? Bobby Sullivan, who was a charter captain whose client caught the new state record king salmon last year. He's also a Saginaw Bay walleye captain. I saw Bobby at the Walleye for Warriors event, and I thought it would be interesting to get him on the show and talk about the comparison between Saginaw Bay walleye. Hey, John knows what I'm talking about, don't you, John? Yep. Jim Robleski knows what I'm talking about, too. Tom says he tried tadpoles this week, kept getting mussels on my spoons. Have you tried jets? Any problem seeing bites? Tom, we took several fish yesterday off the bottom with Magnum tadpoles, bouncing them on the bottom. I'll take Paul Phillips down there. He'll be my bodyguard. I have been using jets a little bit. No problem seeing bites on a jet at all. That's the one thing I like about jet divers is when you get a fish on a jet diver, you know it. Not so much bouncing a Magnum tadpole off the bottom. In fact, what we do is routine. Paul says, hi. Paul says, yeah. I just routinely check those down. I call them down rods about every 5 minutes because oftentimes you'll check it and there'll be a fish on it and you just won't know it. No crawlers, though. So anyway, Bobby Sullivan, Nick Green of MUCC will join me. And then this week's Ask Avery segment, I find very interesting. I got an email from a guy who passed along some information from a very well-meaning friend of his. And his friends posted on Facebook, and God knows, right? If it's on Facebook, it must be the gospel. It must be true. That if you find a fawn and you think it's abandoned, ding, 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 alarm bells going off right now, right? If you find a fawn and its ears are crumpled, that poor baby has been abandoned and it's dehydrated, and you are obligated to pick it up and bring it in and save its life. Well, the gist of my answer is, I don't care if it's laying there with 3 legs, one of them cut off. You don't pick up a fawn. You let Mother Nature run her course. But the other thing is, I reached out to Chad Stewart, who is a DNR top whitetail biologist, and he says there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever about a crumpled ear on a fawn, an indication of dehydration. So that's the short version of my 6 minute and 50-second Ask Avery segment. And then I just got a text here. I hope this is going to verify that he's going to be good to go. Yep. Okay. And then in hour number 3, Jim Chamberlain talking about fishing salmon and trout on northern Michigan inland lakes. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with wild game chef Dave Miner. Brian says, yeah, let Mother Nature take her course. Take its course. What if you do pick up a fawn and you somehow save it, which number one is illegal because you're not a licensed wildlife rehabilitator. So if you take a wild animal out of the Mother Nature, you are breaking the law, first of all. Secondly, what if you do manage to nurse this thing back to health and it survives? Did you really do that animal any good? You've now taken a wild critter, you've brought it into a domestic environment. It imprints on you. Did you really do that fawn any good? Leave it out there and let Mother Nature take its course. Now, this is a live look behind the scenes, right? So, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry about that. But this is a live look behind the scenes at the radio studio. And all the crap that's in the air right now. Ugh. And humidity. That's pretty cool, Johnny. No, we have nothing planned for any in-person Wednesday Night Lives that the public is invited to. Good morning, Tim. 1 minute. Pat Johnston tells me I have 1 minute, so I better get a timer set here. Reset. There we go. So in about 45 seconds now, I will not be able to directly answer your questions or talk with you as I have been. I will put on my official broadcast headphones, talk into my official broadcast microphone. It's not gold-plated like Russia's was. Yeah, thank you, Scott. I will. But I won't be able to directly interact with you because I'm going to be recording the radio show. 15. But I do like Scott's suggestion. I will do a very quick, very brief Wednesday Night Live at 7:00 tonight from Pine Knob, just to show you why I'm not going to be with you tonight. And maybe rub it in a little bit. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Let's hear it. There we go. Number one outdoor radio show. There are others, but there's only one number one. Only one guy been doing it for 40 years. Only one guy old as me to be able to do it for 40 years. All right, my friends, have a good day. I'm going to go to work. I know you can't really call it work, right? I'm sitting here in an air-conditioned studio. Mike Avery. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. More than 30 stations across the great state of Michigan. Talking about the outdoors, the history and tradition of the outdoor lifestyle here in the great state of Michigan and occasionally beyond. Hunting and fishing and shooting and trapping and wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. Been a lot going on since we last talked. Oh, but before that, let me just wish you a happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day weekend. To my father-in-law, Jury, my son, James. My dad is no longer with us, but I'm sure he's having a wonderful Father's Day as well. And if you are a father, a dad, a grandpa, hope you have a good weekend. Hope you have a good day. Hope you get a chance to do what you want. Don't spend it out in the yard, working in the yard, unless that's what you want to do. In many families, I'll use mine as an example. It was my dad who taught me how to hunt and fish. So it was my dad who instilled this love, this passion for the outdoors. He learned from his dad, my grandpa. He passed it along to my dad. My dad got me hunting and fishing. I love it. I'd like to think in some way I passed some information or some interest or passion down to my son, James. He's passing it down to his kids. Speaking of James, I had a chance to fish with him. I haven't had a chance to fish with him very much because he's been working a lot, but I did a charity auction, a charity charter a few days ago. It was a benefit for my granddaughter's softball team. And I said, yeah, I'll donate a charter. And James says, I'll go along with you and be your first mate. He is an excellent fisherman. He is a far better fisherman than I am. And I readily and happily accept that. But we had a really, really good day. One of the best days ever, at least in recent history. The most fish I've caught all summer for sure. Went up into my skinny water. Didn't run crawlers. Flicker shad, flicker minnows. Got out a little deeper, some lead core, bounced some offshore tadpoles off the bottom, ran some offshore snap weights, 50-50 method. Had a real good crew with us. One of the guys was celebrating his 40th birthday. And let's just say they had fun. And what a great place what a great way to celebrate a birthday. Out on the water, catching fish. The weather was nice. The fish cooperated. They all seemed to enjoy each other's company. It was just a great, great day. Speaking of great days, I have to give a shout out to the folks at the Walleye for Warriors event. That was last Sunday on Saginaw Bay. I was blessed and honored to be a small part of that event once again. I always look forward to that event. And I've said this many times, and you might get sick of me hearing it, but I don't have many true regrets in life, but one of them is that I never served. And to this day, it bothers me. So when I do get a chance to, in whatever way I can, honor or thank those who did, I try to take advantage of that opportunity. And being involved in Walleye for Warriors is one of those chances, one of those events. But everybody involved. Linwood Beach Marina did a great job. The committee did a great job. The volunteers did a great job. The food was excellent. The vets had fun. It was just great. And I'm already looking forward to next year's event. Although I suspect the folks who put it together are glad that there's not an event for another year coming up. What else? Oh, speaking of fishing, I learned something this week. Well, I learn something every week when it comes to fishing, I think. Last year, when I exported my waypoints from my graph on my boat, I exported all my waypoints and then I deleted the graph. So I wasn't handing all my waypoints over to the next owner. And I put those waypoints on a card, on a micro SD card, right? And I stashed it somewhere so I'd know where it was. Someplace I would never forget where it was. Well, guess what? I forgot where it was. I cannot find that card anywhere. But I do have the Navionics app on my phone, and I had been keeping pretty good track of waypoints on that app. And I thought, okay, can I get these to talk to each other somehow? My phone, my Navionics, and my Lowrance HDS 12. That didn't work out so well. So I thought, okay, so I'll just export the waypoints out of my Navionics app, and then I'll put them on an SD card. I'll put that card into my Lowrance, and I'll import them from there. It wouldn't work. It gave me the option of copy, rename, and delete, and the import option would not come up. So I did some checking around. They said, this is Lowrance. Lowrance said, just change the file name because it exported as a GPX_3. They said, rename the file, delete the _3, so it's just a GPX file, and try that. Well, I was at the boat yesterday, put that card in, boom. It showed up, I imported all my waypoints, and I was good to go. Couple of lessons here. Don't forget the card you store your waypoint on, and more importantly, have multiple backups, multiple sources, because I had most of my waypoints on my Navionics app. I was good. But again, the folks at Lowrance were telling me, you don't even need to do that. If you put, like in my case, a Lowrance unit on my boat and put the Lowrance app on your boat and sync the two of them, every time you go out to the boat, the two will talk to each other, and every waypoint and marker and trail that's on your unit on your boat will end up on your phone. How cool is that? How did we ever get by with all of this technology? How did we ever get by? Oh, even with Lowrance. How about before Lowrance? Flashers. We didn't have LCD screens and GPS and does it make us better fishermen, better anglers? I don't know. The last Wednesday night live I did was at the Brenton USA Hunting Rifle Plant in Lansing. I talked very briefly about this last week, but I want to follow up on it now. I went down there to pick up my new 350 Legend that I ordered a few weeks ago. Beautiful rifle. I'm telling you, an absolutely gorgeous rifle made here in Michigan, a family-owned operation. I couldn't be happier. So the next day, I posted a picture of me online with a big smile on my face, holding that AR-style hunting rifle. Holy cow. Did the insect come out of the woodwork? The comments I got on that, you would have thought I was a domestic terrorist. What can you possibly do with it? And in the post, I said, I'm so happy to get my new Michigan-made 350 Legend from Brenton USA Hunting Rifles, and I hope to take a Michigan bear with it this fall. But apparently that wasn't good enough. People thought for some reason that I was holding this assault rifle in my hands, getting ready to do something evil, to hurt somebody with it. My hunting rifle, my Brenton USA, just happens to be an AR-style rifle, is not meant for evil. I will not do evil with it. It's like a tool. It's like a hammer. An evil, demented, sick person, if they choose to, can do evil with a hammer. An evil, sick, demented person, if they choose to, can do evil with a gun. It's not the object, it's not the tool, it's the person. If you lay a hammer on a table and you lay a gun on a table and it's surrounded by good people, nothing bad is going to happen. If you put it there surrounded by dirtbags or crazy people, something bad may happen, but it's not the tool. Why do people not grasp? Not all people. Why do some people not grasp that? And then, of course, I got the comments from the firearm and ballistic experts who are always out there on Facebook. Well, you are undergunned with a Michigan Black Bear with a 350 Legend. Well, no, I'm not. If I was going to buy a gun to shoot a bear, I would buy a 12-gauge slug. But I didn't buy the gun to shoot a bear. I bought the 350 Legend to be a versatile platform, a versatile caliber that I could shoot a bear, a deer, coyote with. I just love the experts out there. Crazy world. And common sense seems to be uncommon these days, and I'm not quite sure why. But what can we do about it? We can go outdoors. We can go hunting. We can go fishing. We can take our kids with us. We can take our families with us. We can take our neighbors with us. We can get our friends involved. The more we do outdoors, the more we get back to Mother Nature, the more we, unfortunately, have to be involved in the process. You can't just sit back anymore. Because if we sit back, if we good, common sense, good-hearted people sit back and do nothing, the crazy idiots will do something and we will be left behind. And we can't do that anymore. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine show after the break, Chris Kreiner of Dusk to Dawn Outdoors talking about summertime coyote hunting, predator hunting. That's something we don't hear much about. Jason Garvin from the Michigan Wildlife Council. In hour number 2, Captain Bobby Sullivan, Nick Green of MUCC. And in hour 3, Jim Chamberlain and wild game chef Dave Miner. That's coming up this week right here on Outdoor Magazine. Times have changed, and so should your hunting rifle. It's time to take a look at a Brenton USA hunting rifle. Brenton is a Michigan-based manufacturer. Very true, Paul. Very true. Thank you, Philip. A little late, but here. Now I'm gone, Jerry. Well, too many people have become, I don't know if you're directing this at me or not, Jim. I'm not intolerant of other people's views or opinions unless they, I hate to use the word infringe, unless they try to tell me what I can't do. Then I have a problem. All right, my friends. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Behind the Mic. Like I said earlier, I was not going to do a Wednesday night live. Oh, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. But Scott Hand suggested maybe I do a quick Wednesday night live from Pine Knob tonight. So I think I will do that. In the meantime, have a good day. Try to stay cool. And I appreciate you joining me on this edition of Behind the Mic. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com.